the winner of the other semifinal, and we go home with the big trophy this time.
Okay, big trophy this time. Handaki sanabasita this soidana US na trophy se lorga hankibagi ano bapuari ama semang habagi yamna chena thaja bawakalo namani at sir ki Steve sir dasulak sir. I mean, your team is already playing, and you are playing the semi-final against the South Africa. And Ed sir has already said South Africa is a very tough team, is a very good team. So far, which team has been the strongest team which you have already defeated in this series?
That's hard to say. The teams are fairly well matched up. I would say that the Manipur team is an extremely tough team, as is the India team. And it's the South Africans scare me to death. They're strong.
Okay.
I think you have the 4 best teams in the tournament.
In the tournament.
In the semifinals.
Okay, in the semi-final.
Yes. And I have full confidence in our young men, though.
Okay. Why South Africa is a very tough team?
They have some very good players. Polo has been big in South Africa for a long time, and they have produced many very good players. And I believe that John Eustace is the highest rated player in the entire tournament.
Who's the captain of the team also?
Captain of the South African team. And he put on just an exemplary performance today. And England put up a tough fight, but the South Africans handled them pretty easily. And but as I say, our young men are classically trained, and although they have not played together a whole lot, because of the training, they know how to play with each other. And that is one of the most important things in polo.
Playing pony, the Manipuri pony, is a disadvantage or is it absolutely normal, as you normally played with the bigger horses?
Well, it's just different. But the equalizer is both teams are playing it. We are used to playing larger horses. The South Africans are used to playing larger horses. So that factor evens itself out.
The same question I would like to ask to Ed sir also. Let's assume you entered the final and one of the team of India's team A and B enters the final, and the final is played between your team and Indian team. In that case, as Indian team are quite habitual about the horses, as they have been trained with the same horses, but for you this will be the new horse for you. So will that be a difficult, or will that be a disadvantage for you in the final?
Well, it'll definitely be a factor, but because of the way the tournament was organized, we've had several opportunities to ride the horses both in practice and in games. So these guys have talent that translates to whatever they're riding. And I think that, yes, the Manipuri team, especially the local team, plays on the smaller horses all the time. No question they're going to be more comfortable on their mounts. But it's not like it's the first time we're going to do this. This is probably the 4th or 5th time these guys will be on the horses between practice games and the tournament games. So I think we'll be on about as equal footing as we can be.
Okay, as far as polo game is concerned, how do you rate this particular breed of horse, which is Manipuri pony, for the same game?
They're very, very hardy horses. They're very tough, and they're showing that toughness by playing under all of these different sized men and women from around the world. It's a very hardy breed, and we have nothing but respect for them.
Okay.
It's different, but it's not bad. It's just different. Yeah.
Okay, it's different but not bad. Sir, Steve sir, same question. How do you rate pony for polo?
I think they've put on absolutely wonderful performance. as Ed said, it's different. But difference is a good thing. And being able to adjust is one of the qualities that a polo player is rated on. Because you don't always get to play the best horse or your horses. You have to play other people's horses. So being able to adjust and work with the animal, that's what polo is all about.
Okay.
Creating a team
Okay.
between the player and the animal. It doesn't matter, big, small, fat, skinny.
Okay. It doesn't matter big, small, but there is a question. Can it actually go to the international level? Can it actually compete with the larger horses, bigger horses?
That would be an unfair situation.
Okay, okay.
And there are rules in international polo about matching the size of the animals. I play large horses. They need to be to carry me. If I were to play my horses against the pony, they would take them out.
Okay.
So it would be unsafe for both the pony and myself. But that's why the splits, what we call the split string, where all the teams play the ponies instead of bringing larger horses, makes sense. It would be dangerous for, as I say, both the rider and the ponies, and the larger horses, to put them against each other in
A
competition.
particular competition should have only one kind of horse.
Yes.
Okay.
This would not work.
That will be quite unfair to
Dangerous.
the team. Okay. So there should be a balance of kogi sanaba matam sita kogi team amana sagola so botong bat team amana sagola masa tong basi kogi tournament ki kogi law da yada bana mar moidana kogi team ani makta chamar makal gi sagol masa organa masa ngata so organa so mata tong le habagi piwa mathambiri adwa kogi manipur ki sagol si kogi poni si amna tongan ba yamna nungai ba makal gi sagol mani haino ditak piri du international level da sangadra habi matang sita di koi clear cut oibo answer madi phangdri matang sita oja somida lakse oja international level da koi poni si sang ba ga dori
Masige koi pony se other breeding tabu yai. Kai gino the other species breeds yam lai hariba America so. Other sida koi gi equine virus currently masi phajana study taudri. Other India dagi sagon puto pasi not just from Manipur but whole of India. There are 7 equine viruses. It's very difficult to get them to participate in equine events, equestrian events around the world. There are huge restrictions. I actually talked to the equestrian people at the last event in Lexington with the Alltech games, the equestrian games. But it is something so special that we really have to look to see how not just the animal but also the rider. I mean, when we first were thinking, we invited Ed, and Ed was willing to bring his team. We said, first of all, please don't bring anyone taller than 5'10", because that is one of the things that we kind of discussed. But the USPA team last year was the very first team that came as a handicapped team.
Okay.
It was really the first real team that came in many senses of the word, and I'm sure you can correct me on that and expound on it a bit more. But and the question was, Ed's question was, what level do they play? And I'm like, no, how do I answer this question? So I pick up the phone and call my Yambung Arkenimai, and he says, like, let's talk to people. We said 2, 3, but there's no handicapping here in in our polo community here. How good are these players? They don't participate. We don't have funding for them to go play in many of the tournaments around India. So the Indian Polo Association cannot even rank them. So we had to kind of guess. Maybe 8, maybe 10 per team. So we brought 9 last year. And because we're not bringing the best American team. That's not the point of it. You have to bring a team that matches the other teams.
Okay.
So we have to establish from our side what level of players do we want coming from the others? And the American team, by coming last year with a handicap team for the very first time, the first international team that ever came like that, actually put Manipur Polo up one significant step. So now we know approximately, okay, Manipur beat America last year, USPA last year, so they had a 9-goal team, handicap team, so we are about 8 or 9 or 10 around
Kogi
there
rank
also.
awang ba kogi players si
Yeah.
puro lakpa hore.
Hobase na hakum na hobane hariba adana mathang da horopada how good are your players and akhoi hang matam da akhoi se sigum I rank ne se hujik akhoi reasonable logical method am da haibanga me hariba adaina USPA ga wari sa de habasida akhoi gi polo community horse riding association gi organizers sing na aingon da haiba akhoi bu ngamba team ama pubiro oina haiba.
Okay.
You know the nangkai da khoi na dum ngam sam lai bada lam line ngam gi bada because chanama ki handicap team am lak ta ba se ko na duna daya khoi gi ningtham khongjam be da jit kumba moi gi yam khang ba kang bu sing sina dum aingon da hai ba akhoi po ba pa me hai ba because it will really help our players to know that they have to improve.
They have to improve.
That the rules, that they have to play better, they have to train the horses better, they have to do better polo in general. Must see a puppet team like Chinkai Kangbangam they wanted. Other than Handak South Africa like but see Pubzani.
Okay. Koi Manipur ki Sanroi me amse polo players sing si ki standard se hen improve tanu ke tamang ta hen aphawa ba handicap awang ba rank ki players sing si pusalak pa targati koi ki Manipur ki Sanroi me amse polo ki masana se da hen na aphawa Sanroi team ama sambang amni habagi oja somi ki koi ki opinion ni aduga aroi boy no jada hangjering se koi matam som le select ten tan no jada hangjering se koi hujik tori ba koi ki series se sakari ba nipan su ba koi ki Manipur polo international je hujik su chathari adu koi ki sigi level standard hai tare quality standard of the tournament se khare improve to gi mathab tare ba kyunki internationally nationally koi tongan ba polo gi tournament mayam ojana su thengna biramani adu koi standard se kyam yamna improve to mathab tare ba gi natra koi hujik khar to jari ba koi internationally team mayam la na koi hara ro ga to ba sina dum yare ane khan bi
as koi polo sana bata yeng bata harau ba sidi you cannot buy that for love or for money. I've seen a few games in England and in the US. I've never encountered crowds like this. This is like a soccer game, like a football match. I mean, we have full stands. We have people outside holding the bars looking in. They can't get in. It's packed. I mean,
okay.
They can add more to this one. I mean, like it's amazing.
You tell us your experience about this particular series of Manipur Polo International. How was your impression?
As Somi said, it's a rare thing to have, a couple of thousand people at a match. There are clubs in the country, in the U.S. that have that, but by and large, nowhere near the amount of fans that we've seen here, all around the field. And it's wonderful, and the enthusiasm they show. Sometimes they're the home team crowd, but today there was 2 out-of-town teams playing,
But still.
and they still got engaged and involved in the game. It was a lot of fun.
Big crowd and a lot of enthusiasm among the crowd. How was your experience, your impression?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, seeing a crowd that size, that involved on a Wednesday afternoon, it just wouldn't happen anywhere else. And the interaction of the crowd and the players and the players makes this a very special tournament. The camaraderie, and this is also what polo is about, is the camaraderie for the love of the animals and the game, and the tradition of the game. And that is one of the reasons that makes the ponies so important. They're the history of the game. And polo is a very tradition-oriented game. And so it's, I think, building interest in helping preserve the ponies.
I was told by players both here and in the rest of India, and I went to see a game in the Cotswolds and the Queen Mother Trophy game and so on. There are 40, 60 people over there, but they say that 90% of the game is played by the animal. This game, the animal is actually playing the game. And many people, I ask a lot of people, do the animals really enjoy playing this game? Yes, everyone has said unequivocally, yes, the animal likes playing the game. A trained polo animal is a very special animal. So, and we have it's a very elitist game in many parts of the world. Here it is a popular game. Anim awang yam lai jade ba khoi lamse. Aduna masigi popular ba akhoi ki Manipur gi unique of characteristics se ti thamba chumeng khaleba. Not simply competing internationally by being like other teams, but also knowing what are the unique and distinctive characteristics of Manipuri polo. That's what's going to bring Ed back with his Huntre Polo tours, where he's working in Buenos Aires and London and Washington and Impal now. That's what they're going to be coming to see.
Okay.
Not just polo, Manipuri polo.
Okay. Not just polo, Manipuri polo, and we hope and we wish, Ed sir, you come again in Manipur, and Steve sir also, you must be coming in Manipur in the immediate or in the near future, or maybe in the coming time. So on that note, I would like to end today's episode of Manu Hudna, and I would also like to thank Ed sir, Steve sir, and Somi sir for coming to our studio. Appreciate your joining.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
And with that, this is Raj Rothamam signing out. Have a good night.